against Watford. John Roeder was at St Mary's.
Southampton finished 17th in the Premier League last season with 36 points. A win today would equal that points total with 5 still to play. Josh Sims makes his first start of the season for Southampton, with Romeo dropping to the bench. As expected, Danny Ings returns up front, having been ineligible to face Liverpool 8 days ago. Shane Long, who scored in that match, making way. It's the same outfield team that started the FA Cup semi-final defeat to Watford. Rui Patricio returns in goal in the only change. Johnny scored one of the goals when Wolves defeated Southampton 2-0 at Molineux in late September. 5 goals in his last 7 appearances for Raul Jimenez. Wolves have won the last 4 meetings against Southampton in all competitions, and they've kept a clean sheet against the Saints in the last 3 of those. But that gets it forward, and it drops here to Josh Sims. His first involvement of the afternoon towards Redmond, and it's in! Southampton in front inside the opening 2 minutes. It's his 7th goal of the season, and you can see where Nathan Redmond starts this move. And you can see also that no Wolves players track his run. The ball across, Saiss just doesn't notice that Redmond is coming in from behind him. And Sims' cross is matched by Redmond to give Southampton the perfect beginning. Given away by Højbjerg. Jota. Jimenez. Trying to find a way through. Gunn is equal to the task. Super play from Raul Jimenez. The number of Southampton defenders around him made it very difficult indeed to get a shot away. Wolves without a victory in their last 4 away from home in the Premier League. Nice touch to find Johnny. Jimenez waiting. Then Dunker. Will it drop for Jota? Then Dunker with the touch. Coutinho. Neves. Doherty. First time ball in and put behind by Yoshida. Not for the first time this afternoon, Mayor Yoshida with a vital interception. Coutinho with it. Volley! Wolves back on level terms through Willy Boly. The pressure tells in the end from the visitors. Boly with the run forward, he's got the momentum and he's got the height to rise above the 2 Southampton defenders. No chance for Gunn. Sims. Redmond makes a run into the middle, Nathan Redmond! 2-1! Southampton restore their lead, and it comes just a matter of minutes after Wolves had equalised. Sims again involved. Redmond clearly onside. It's a lovely ball through to him, and how about that for a finish? Lifting it over Patricio, and Nathan Redmond gets his 2nd goal of the afternoon. What a first half it's been already. Southampton back in front. Southampton 2, Wolves 1. Running just past the half-hour mark. Given away by Neves. Sims. Ings is in the middle. Sims went for goal. And had he just pulled that back a little further, Danny Ings would have been in for goal number 3. Southampton with it again. Ings. Sims puts it wide. Another terrific opportunity for Southampton. And for Josh Sims to get his first goal in senior football. Wolves guilty of gifting Southampton possession. It could, and maybe should, have been 4-1 to Southampton. Jimenez. Touch from Coutinho. Will be picked up by Redmond. Faced by Saiss. Southampton corner. And a bit of respite from the pressure for Southampton. We've played 70 minutes at St Mary's, and this is Southampton's first corner of the match compared to 9 for Wolves. All poised. Feels for a penalty there, it has to be said, mainly from Southampton supporters. Long turns it in and is onside. And Southampton lead 3-1. And Shane Long scores in successive Premier League matches for the first time in almost 3 years. Southampton with a bit of breathing space. There are appeals there from Southampton supporters, and you can see here that Traore is very, very slow to come out from the back. He plays Shane Long onside, and it's a relatively simple finish for the Southampton substitute. And in the context of Southampton's season, that could be a huge goal. Bertrand. Redmond. Bertrand keeps going. It's Ryan Bertrand. Can he pull it across? Corner. Comes off Saïss. Having gone so long without a corner, it's 2 in quick succession now for the Saints. And they scored from their first of the game. Romeo. Rashida. What a save that is from Patricio. Vestergaard. Can he finish? Patricio in the way. Vestergaard. And Wolves scramble it clear. Here's the save from Patricio to deny Maya Yoshida his first goal of the season. Coutinho gives White, charged down by Romeo. Arguably the biggest cheer of the afternoon greets the final whistle at St Mary's. It's a huge victory for Southampton. 2 goals from Nathan Redmond and 1 from Shane Long to give the Saints breathing space over the bottom 3. It's finished. Southampton 3, Wolves 1.
I think the guys made a fantastic job, and also the supporters helped us a lot. And that's is maybe the most beautiful moment in the weekend. If you have a win and can celebrate with the fans, and the team did the same. And I think it was a massive win for us today.
Too many spaces, allowing Southampton to play. Southampton is a good team; they are good players. And today they were better than us, and they beat us. And we have to look at it and regroup and bounce back immediately.
About the manager, how much of an impact has he had? Because it seems that it's a massive one.
Yeah, no, he's been very impactful. I think not even in the changing room, but around the stadium, especially at home games. Everybody's feeding off his energy and the foundations and his basics that he's bringing to this football club, and then with the players that we have to add that little bit of quality in the correct areas. Everybody's solely enjoying it, so it's a nice journey so far.
We still don't have the 40 points, so it's still a long way to go, and I can guarantee you we will do everything to get this 40.
Well, he's done an excellent job, hasn't he? 27 points from 18 games since
Incredible.
he took over,
Brilliant.
which is great. I know, Ian, that Redmond and Long got the goals today, but you want to pick out Danny Ings for his performance.
Yeah, I do, but I do want to say about Nuno Espirito that I know he's a bit disappointed, but Danny Ings, the centre forward play like this, for instance, in with Bolly. Bolly doesn't give Bolly any time to get a real clear header on it. We know how big he is. And then you look at Redmond coming into the box, and then Saïss, he has a look for him, but it's the movement from Redmond to get in the near post. So determined to get in there, and the energy. Look how many players they've got going forward there. Southampton, brilliant. And again, there you look at Danny Ings. He's just in a nice position. No one's picked him up. Brilliant play. Then Redmond should, I'd say should score, but he does brilliantly well again there. And you see this. This is fantastic play. Look where he's taken Bolly again. Bolly's trying to recover, and you look at Danny Ings now. Super, and then that pass there. Nathan Redmond was really, it was so hard to contain today. This, for me, is where Josh Sims should square it for him. He's done really well for the team all day, Danny Ings, holding up, running defenders all over the place. You just want him to square that to get a tap in. But for me, this is like a pass of the day. Yeah. The way he played, this is just gorgeous. Look at that. And he's got to finish that so as Danny could get some credit for that pass. But it was a brilliant display from Danny Ings today.
And a crucial win for Southampton, and I suspect a little hangover for Wolves after that dreadful defeat they had in the FA Cup last week. 4 games still to come.
Morrison headed against the post by Wood. Albert Lewin! Oh, can't get much closer than that. And it's onside Vardy and he's missed it.
Actually, there's only 3 games to come. Cardiff manager Neil Warnock said his team needed 10 points from their final 6 matches to have any chance of avoiding relegation. Today's opponents, Burnley, had moved clear of danger after back-to-back wins. Guy Mowbray was at Turf Moor.
Burnley's form since the turn of the year has been top 6, and that's due in no small part to the form of Dwight McNeil, who's had a breakthrough second half of the season. The winger has scored 2 goals in Burnley's last 3 games. How Cardiff could do with someone to do something similar in their remaining matches. Kenneth Zohore comes in today, hopeful of being that man. He scored the late winner in the Bluebirds' last win, 2-1 at Southampton in February. Tough task for Cardiff then, up until the end of their season. Will it be the end of their 1 season back in the top flight? First free kick goes to Burnley. Dwight McNeil has earned it for them. A player who's really earned his place in the Burnley first team and looks as though he's never been out of it, the form that he's been in recently. Takes the free kick, he's looking for Ben Mee. Morrison headed against the post by Wood. Sean Morrison with an inadvertent assist there. Chris Wood's header so close to going in. It is April, but it is very cold. Wood has got it through, and this is Westwood. Straight at Etheridge, who just waited for it. It's a poor shot. Ball over to Taylor. Josh Murphy tried to bring him down in whatever fashion he could, but Taylor keeps on going. Super run from Charlie Taylor. Now it's a foul. Peltier guilty. They weren't stopping him easily, were they? He manages to burst past Peltier, and they got tangled up together. Westwood or McNeil. Wood's just coming into the back post now. Wasn't far away from him. It was touched behind. Etheridge got a glove to it. Just the faintest of fingertips. Etheridge has stayed back, and it's cost him. Chris Wood ran onto that beautifully. Cardiff's keeper has had a problem getting off his line. He stayed put on it firmly that time. And Chris Wood has simply headed the ball past him. What have Cardiff got about them? These last 6 games are all about their fight, their heart, and now even more so in this one game alone. Here's Westwood. Westwood is denied by Etheridge again. 2 one-on-one chances the Burnley midfielder has had. Westwood making the right run again. Not finding the right shot at the end again. Burnley have looked the better team and have the advantage for it. Might have been more. Might yet be more. It's Barnes and it's Bennett who's taken him out. That will be a yellow card. Ashley Barnes just has to check his reaction. Mike Dean will have a word with both of them. He's going to book Bennett for sure, but he'll want words with Barnes too. It's the aggressive reaction that has cost Ashley Barnes. He's undoubtedly fouled, and then he's nudged too, and he wants to have a say about it. It's the 2 kisses actually. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get a yellow card for a quick kiss to the top of the nose. Such an important 45 minutes for the Bluebirds. Zohore in round the back of Tarkowski. Zohore's cross wasn't a bad one. Cork heads it back out there. Hoylett. Clipped off Westwood. Arter had a go. McNeil clears. 1 or 2 Cardiff questions about a possible handball. Bennett. That's off Ben Mee. And the flag's up here. The flag being waved by the assistant referee. And this one is a penalty. Darren Cairns spotted it. Ben Mee got himself in a bit of a tangle in trying to get the ball away. Mike Dean is across for a conversation now with his assistant. Not entirely sure it's going to be a penalty just yet. No penalty. Mike Dean has changed his mind. Anthony Taylor is having to placate Neil Warnock, who knows that could be a significant moment for his club. Now, this was the first time that Cardiff asked. It strikes Ben Mee, but it's point-blank range, and he could do precious little about getting his arm away. This is the next one, and Mee heads it against his arm. Well, that was VAR without the V. Gunnarsson. Zahor. Tarkowski across. It's going to be a corner. Cardiff City, fueled perhaps by a sense of injustice now. Murphy. Camarasa. Harriata. Taylor, who spread himself to block the shot straight away. Bennett. Hoylett. Not going to let him check under the right foot, that's the idea, but he's just about there. It's Arta now! That must have grazed the top of the bar. It's great approach work from Junior Hoylett. Arta's shot. It did just clip the top of the frame of the goal. And now Zahor will race under the ball. Two in the middle for him. And Arta coming in. What a chance this is! And Junior Hoylett has skied it. Kenneth Zahor's done really well here. He's kept his cool and found Hoylett unmarked, 11 yards from goal. And the ball ended up 11 yards over the goal. Camarasa, now Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson against Taylor. Gunnarsson down, nothing for him though. Gunnarsson couldn't get outside Taylor, so he tried the inside route. It's all very clumsy from the pair of them. That's another point of contention for Cardiff to talk about later. He's just beginning the feeling nothing will go for his team at all. Etheridge is out on the halfway line. He'll put it back up towards that Burnley box again now. It's not a bad delivery either. It's going to come for Ekwel Manga and it's come off Tarkowski. Again shouts for a penalty for Cardiff. They felt Tarkowski saved that. Ekwel Manga with the drive. What part of Tarkowski did it hit? Plenty of talk about penalties after the game. Here's McNeil for Burnley, chased by Gunnarsson. McNeil showing superb balance, and on he goes into the penalty area. McNeil across! It's a knock-in for Chris Wood's second of the game. It's all over for Cardiff City today. Their Premier League stay looks as though it might be all over now too. That's another turn of the screw for Neil Warnock. It's off Ekwel Manga, it's off Etheridge. It's in from Wood. Burnley 2, Cardiff City 0. That's just the start of the story at Turf Moor today. Cardiff will talk about penalties.
Well, there were two handballs, really. I think you've only got to look at the player's reaction. Even the first one, he looked so guilty when he put his hand behind his back after and looked what the referee had done. And the second one, we felt there was a movement of his hand towards the ball. The linesman gave it. The fourth official told me that Mike didn't see it. And yet, Mike must have seen something because he's gone over and told the linesman that it's hit a part of his body and so it can't be handball. So if he didn't see it, how could he see it hit his head if he didn't see it? I honestly don't know. Could I say I'm lost for words, Martin?
I think it's the right decision, to be fair. I don't think I could do anything about it. My arm was by my side. It's hit me in the face and hit me on the arm, but it's nothing deliberate.
I had a look back at Gunners, the one where he got tackled in the second half, and the lads had two swipes at it, missed the ball both times and took him down. I think we were unlucky not to get two in the second half.
Are you safe now?
No, I don't think you talk about that because you want it factually. But we would say it's a very, very difficult marker certainly for Cardiff to chase now. And I think they've got 3 out of 5 away games as well. So, you can't guarantee it, but I think we're in a very, very healthy position, I would say.
Well, I think we should start with a few debatable decisions.
Yes.
Who's going
I think they were. You see, with this one, me and Danny been talking about it. Like that's goal bound for me. And I think if he's on the line, they're going to give a penalty. That's goal bound. Like people saying he can't get his arm out of the way.
Well, he probably
I think
can't.
that's more of a penalty for me than that one because, like I say, he's got himself in a tangle, and they gave that one.
What do you think, Adam?
Well, I think that one would be harsh. I understand Wright's point, but if we start giving penalties for every shot that might be on target and might go in, we'll end up with 3 a game. But where I think they were unlucky was I am miffed at the discussion between them what he did or didn't see. But this is a penalty for me. Out twice. I think he has had a nibble twice. I think that's a definite penalty. And what you can say with all of them is that some refs would, some wouldn't. But to be 3 times, to feel aggrieved 3 times, you can understand why Cardiff are disappointed. 3 decisions. It's not just one.
That's some terrible luckness. Yeah.
And actually, the second half they had a good go, Cardiff. Yeah. They played well, but Burnley at home are tough. They're resilient.
They certainly are. You spotted a theme around the set pieces that led to Burnley eventually scoring from one.
Well, they were trying to whip balls in right on the keeper's head, right under the crossbar from minute 1 on Neil Etheridge, and they're putting men on him and they're putting men in the 6-yard box. Now, this isn't normal way to take corners for Burnley. He deals with that one quite well. You've got 5 men in there. Look, it's Barnes on him. Again, 5 in there. It's a ploy, something they've worked on, something they felt that would cause them problems, and it did in the end. This is a free kick, not just a corner. Lots of men in the 6-yard box. He deals with that as well. Barnes, big lad again. Good ball in from Westwood. Hard to defend against when they're whipped in well, I have to say. Look how many, it's not just the Burnley players, it's the Cardiff players in there as well. This one they get away with. But eventually they get the rewards. It's a good ball in, but it's 4 yards out when he heads it in. I think it was a good ploy and it worked, and it got them up in the game. It's a good header, but they've obviously seen something worked on it, and fair play to them, because that set plays is massive for Burnley.
Certainly is, and Brighton-Cardiff's a big game, that's for sure, on Tuesday evening. The top 2 are both in action on Sunday.
Nothing between Manchester City and Liverpool this season. Oh, it's magnificent! The pendulum swings again. All action, all absorbing. The full pace, power and fury of the Premier League in all its might. The title race is well and truly on.
There's live commentary of Liverpool versus Chelsea on 5 Live and the BBC Sport website at 4:30. It's the semi-final stage of the Women's FA Cup. Reading West Ham is live on the red button at 12:15, followed by Manchester City versus Chelsea at 3:15 on BBC One. The final round of the Masters is live on BBC Two. Coverage, though, begins earlier than scheduled due to bad weather forecasts later in the day. It's now at 1 to 2 in the afternoon. And if you missed the start of the show, it's available now on the iPlayer with the whole programme up from Monday.
In front, Nielsen, and they might get it with Chipollet. Schmeichel's missed that. Letitia, surely. This is amazing. It's 3-0. Maybe it was the strip that was the reason for that poor performance.
I think they find difficulty picking each other out. We had to change it.
What an excuse. A great day for Manchester United. Everton travel to relegated Fulham, looking to win 4 games in a row for the first time under Marco Silva. Steve Wilson was at Craven Cottage.
So one change for Scott Parker as he bids to end a run of 9 consecutive defeats for Fulham. Timothy Fosu-Mensah replaces Cyrus Christie. But on the bench is Harvey Elliott, 16 years and 9 days old. If he gets on, he'll become the Premier League's youngest ever player. Everton's season is ending on a high, 3 straight wins, all with clean sheets. It's their best sequence of the season. Gylfi Sigurdsson scored 2 and missed a penalty against Fulham at Goodison in September, the latest in Everton's 10-match unbeaten run against the Cottagers. I have to say that despite relegation being confirmed, the mood around Craven Cottage amongst the Fulham fans seems to be a relatively cheerful one. Nicely worked. Mitrovic is onside here. Jagielka with him. Mitrovic did really well until the attempt to beat Pickford. Good awareness in the box from Mitrovic to find the space. Ignored a colleague or two, having said that. Kenny into Bryan. Chance to cross. 2 in the middle. Mitrovic, one of them. Jagielka there too. Corner to Fulham. They're first to the game. So a little over 20 minutes played. Ryan Babel with this Fulham corner. Mitrovic got his head on it and Pickford put it over the crossbar. A nice height for Pickford, though it was travelling. tennis involving Fosu Mensah. Andre Gomes for Everton. Won back by Ongiza. Now Chambers to Ryan Babel. Babel into Chambers. Held off Zuma. Found Mitrovic. He's going to shoot again and hit the bar this time. Well, to say he's single-minded is an understatement. 9 times out of 10, he completely ignores all his teammates. But he is getting closer. Is Lucadin. Kurt Zuma. Sagana Gay. Seamus Coleman's onto this. Calvert-Lewin. No. Well, he couldn't have been far away from getting contact, and if he'd made contact, it almost certainly would have ended up in the net. Everton get the second half underway. Fulham are halfway to what would be only their 3rd clean sheet of the Premier League season. 3 is the fewest that any Premier League side have ever had in a season. Here's Joe Bryan. Ryan Babel. Mitrovic. Babel takes it on in a good position. Babel. Kenny, 1-0 to Fulham. They've taken the lead. Just 30 seconds into the second half. Tom Kearney, the man whose goal won the playoff final almost 12 months ago, has his first goal of this Premier League season and fires relegated Fulham in front. Idrissa Gana Gueye, Bernard, Lucadin, Calvert-Lewin in the middle, well claimed, and followed up by Gylfi Sigurdsson, but it's not going to count. Rico was fouled by Calvert-Lewin. Well, you can't expect Calvert-Lewin not to go for it, really. Busman's holiday, Jose Mourinho. Interruption alongside. Lucadin, Sigurdsson, Bernard. Sigurdsson. Calvert-Lewin! Oh! Can't get much closer than that. It's a lovely little ball into Calvert-Lewin. He's being played onside by Joe Bryan. Kissed the woodwork. Gana Gueye forward, cleared away by Maxime Le Marchand. Mitrovic onto Ryan Babel. He's quick. Babel is through and makes it 2 quite beautifully. Super composed finish from Ryan Babel. Fulham 2, Everton 0. What a lovely goal. Really well taken by Babel. He knew he had the pace to keep himself ahead of Coleman and Gomez, and he also had the craft to clip it over Pickford. It's an excellent finish. And Fulham look to be heading for their first victory since January. Gomez speared forward, cut out by Bryan. Here's Ryan Sessegnon. Could be a break on here. Sessegnon to Mitrovic, who slipped. Joe Bryan. Mitrovic screaming in pain after that challenge. Joe Bryan is now also down. Players down all over the place. Mitrovic is still down. Don't be fooled by Jagielka. Look out for the Everton number 8 here, Andre Gomes, as he comes in. Oh, the ball's long gone. He just ran out the pitch, and that is it. Scott Parker's first win as Fulham's caretaker manager. They may be down, but they've found a performance today. Fulham 2, Everton 0.
It was fantastic today, really. I thought from start to finish, showed a real quality in the way we played, but also showed a real grit. We've worked really hard over the last 10 days leading into this game. To a man, we were fantastic, really. So really pleased with the team.
Disappointing result, and we didn't perform in the way we want and the way we expect also. It was difficult to play here always, and for us it's not important if they are or not relegated.
We came up with big ambitions and dreams in pre-season. I mean, It took us a while to get here, or myself as well. It was, you know what I mean? It's hard in the Championship. No one understands how hard it is to get out of that league. But football is highs and lows, and this has definitely been a low. But Fulham always bounce back, and I think we'll try and do that next season.
The first win for Scott Parker, of course, too little, too late, but a welcome victory nevertheless for Fulham. And Ryan Barble was the match winner, really, wasn't he, Danny?
He's been terrific since he came, but he's come too late as well. I'm pleased for Scott and the team. It's always nice when you've had disappointing news, to give the fans something to cheer about. I thought Kearney was terrific today, but Babel, since he's come in, has been what they needed. He's played at this level before. He's played in the Premier League before. He's got that experience. He's explosive. In the final third, he can beat people. He's got good awareness. That was a great assist. And when you think that they spent £100 million in the pre-season on nearly all the players bar one had no Premier League experience, I find that absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. But Babel, since he's come in, has been a credit. His application, his quality, and I think determination here was good as well. I think, unfortunately for Fulham, a player of his quality and with his attributes, he's not going to want to play in the Championship for obvious reasons. But what he is doing, he's showing he's still at his age. I think he's in his 30s now, right? But he still looks really fit and hungry, doesn't he? And I think someone will take him for sure. And that was a terrific finish.
Yeah. 32 years old, plenty of experience. But as we said, too little, too late. Now, Andre Gomes might be in a little trouble.
I think so. I think that when you see the challenge on Mitrovic, I think you have to look at the ball. The ball is now gone. Look.
Stupid.
I can't understand it. I've never seen him do that since he's been here. He's been brilliant.
Player,
as a player, he's been fantastic. So I don't know what's happened there, a bit of needle or something, but I'm sure that they'll probably look at that. He might get in trouble for it.
Indeed. Time for last night's action. Leicester were chasing a fifth straight win. They faced Newcastle, who still needed points to secure their place in the Premier League next season. Alistair Mann was at the King Power Stadium.
Given extra time off with his new baby daughter, Harry Maguire returns to the Leicester lineup, having missed the victory at Huddersfield. He's the only change to the 11 and was the scorer when the Foxes won at St James's Park back in September. Paul Dummett has been brought into the Newcastle side to replace the unfortunate Florian Lejeune, ruled out for several months following his injury in defeat to Crystal Palace last Saturday. They lost to a late penalty conceded by DeAndre Yedlin, who's also lost his place to Javier Manquillo. Leicester seeking a fifth straight victory. The last time they achieved it was in the early tenure of Craig Shakespeare 2 years ago. Maguire and Morgan in a little bit of a tangle of their own making, really. And Maguire gives it straight to Ritchie, and now Almiron. And he breaks for Perez, and he is fouled, and it's a free kick for Newcastle. It's nice and central, maybe a little bit too far out. Perez just bundled to the floor by Morgan. Shah, we know, can hit them from range, but it will be Rondon. It's not a bad effort, and it wraps the bar. Brilliant from Rondon. Terrific pace on the shot. And Schmeichel couldn't get anywhere near to it and was delighted that it's the angle, isn't it, of post and bar that comes to Schmeichel's rescue. And he's always one to write notes, Brendan Rodgers. And I would have thought he'll have quite a few things to point out to his team at half-time. Now Almiron. Looks for Ritchie. He's done well. Crosses into bad one. The header is brilliant. And Jose Perez gives Newcastle the lead. Well, they've hit the bar. Defensively, they've been pretty sound as well, Newcastle. And you can't say they haven't merited a goal. Almiron tried initially. And when it broke for Ritchie, he left Pereira standing. And a lovely stoop from Jose Perez. They lead 1-0. Away by Shah. Up towards Manquillo and Key and Perez. Well, that's a foul and a booking for Tielemans. That was an ugly challenge, wasn't it? Shah gets away from Vardy. Vardy coming back at him. And he's still going, Shah. What a run this is. The pass to Almiron is good as well, but the shot was poor. Well, Shah puts his hands to his head in disappointment because it was a brilliant run from the centre half. He got beyond Vardy, got beyond Ndidi. Good pass to Almiron. Technique all wrong. Genuine concerns for Brendan Rodgers. Maddison. Looking for something with Barnes. Still with Maddison. Great ball in. Vardy couldn't quite stretch out far enough. Much better that from Leicester. But it was just beyond Vardy. Rondon. Almiron continues his run forward. Still with Rondon. Up towards Perez. Taken down brilliantly by Perez. Chilwell just behind him. Still going Perez. And Schmeichel smothers it. Perez managed to get the better of Chilwell somehow, but the Danish international goalkeeper made it impossible for him to get round him. Maddison. Maguire. Good ball. Tielemans. And it's onside Vardy and he's missed it. Golden opportunity for the equaliser. The first time really that Newcastle have got it wrong, and Vardy was onside, but the shot over Dubravka and over the bar, and it stays 1-0. For Brighton, Pereira now. Good crossing position for Pereira. There's a claim of a foul. Was there a foul on Tielemans? Well, the Manquillo did sort of twist him round with a little pull there. I would imagine if VAR had been involved that would have been a penalty. It's almost over. Newcastle are surely a Premier League team once again. Jose Perez's header take them to 38 points, and surely that will be sufficient. The final score, Leicester City 0, Newcastle United 1.
Your fans were celebrating like it's another season in the Premier League. Is there a feeling that might have been it?
Yeah, I think that they have to enjoy, obviously, because it was a good game against a good team. We did really well, so you can give credit to our players. They were working so hard. And I think that this relationship between players and fans means a lot for us. And then you could see from the first minute until the last minute, the players trying to do their best and the fans doing the same.
The players give absolutely everything. We just couldn't break down, their defence. And of course, when we concede, that makes it even more harder. So, but like I say, we'll learn from it. We'll go away and analyse the game, and this is why I'm here, to help the team improve in these moments.
38 should be enough to stay in the Premier League, so we can say we are a Premier League team for the next season. That feels really good. The team has worked really hard during the season, and now we can enjoy a little bit. Now we have to have the ambition to keep climbing as much as we can. But yeah, that feels really good, man.
Well, Leicester were well and truly Rafford, weren't they, in many ways? But he's done a great job again. Jose Perez was, the match winner.
Yeah, he was. And, what Rafa's done with his team is a miracle, really. But Jose Perez, for me, I watched him against Everton, and he was magnificent that day. And he was a real nuisance for him today. Brilliant play from Matt Ritchie here, turned into a left back. But that run across the near post and that header was brilliant. Like I say, you have to just hand it to what Rafa's done with that club when you consider the lack of investment and the lack of help he's had. To get this team in another season in the Premier League is a miracle. You're talking about £300 million for Newcastle. For me, I think it's a bargain for someone. He's with the players he's got. People saying it's a Championship side, and they've stayed up comfortably. The man needs some help. Unbelievable. The amount of fans they brought to Leicester. It's amazing, Newcastle.
I'm just glad Shearer's not here tonight.
I'm waiting to check.
Out of contract at the end of the season, Rafa, they'll be desperate to keep him.
Well, of course they will.
Yeah.
They will, yeah. He's worked miracles again now.
He certainly has. Ian, thank you very much. Danny too. That's it for us. But before we go, let's have a look at the Premier League table. Tottenham and Manchester United both move up a place into third and fifth respectively after today's wins. The title race resumes on Sunday with both Liverpool and Manchester City in action. Cardiff stay 5 points adrift of safety after losing at Burnley. Brighton, Cardiff's opponents on Tuesday night, slipped to fourth bottom after they were thrashed by Bournemouth. Southampton are up to 16th after beating Wolves. Let's have a look at what these Sunday morning papers have got to say. Father's Day, say these Sunday Times, as they focus on Tottenham's hat-trick hero, Lucas Moura. The Mail on Sunday, back page focuses on reports that Fleetwood Town manager Joey Barton is being investigated by police over an alleged assault of Barnsley manager Daniel Stendhal. The Sunday Express, meanwhile, lead on Paul Pogba's comments that Manchester United were lucky to beat West Ham. So it's a hat-trick for Lucas. Spurs would love a few more of them in Harry Kane's absence. Goodbye.